so far, but I can't lose it.
Oh, yeah, there we go. Now we got the Twitch predictor going. You guys are casting your votes. How many dirty not qualifying laps, how many folks will finish with a dirtied qualifying session out at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca? Use your executables. Yes, they have a new name, the executables, to cast your vote. It's Tuesday night, Forza Motorsport Spec Racing here live on Twitch TV. Let's get it going. AMS Storm form. Now here on lap number 34 of 34, jumps into the top spot. And here comes Maverick now, going to make a run to the inside on Drex, perhaps missing his mark. Hello, everyone, and welcome to X Venture Live on Twitch TV. And boy, oh boy, here we are, the mid-season point of Season 38, as we'll finish things out in the first half with the first race of the evening out at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca. At least that's how it's known in Forza Motorsport 7. It hasn't yet been brought up to date with the new WeatherTech sponsoring. And then we head out to Long Beach, the west route, the short circuit of that configuration for 70 laps in what is going to be a very chaotic, and boy, I better save my energy for that one. There are going to be cars all over the track out there at Long Beach. But, yeah, we've got Laguna Seca to get through first. And thankfully, I'm happy about that one. That's a beautiful, lovely, lovely track. My favorite in the Forza Motorsport franchise. I'm Dustin Moore, and what you're looking at there are the standings through week number 2. This does take into account the drop week rule. That means that RZM McQueen, despite not having finished first in both races, oh, woe is him, is still at the top of the leaderboard with 100 points, those coming off of week number 1. And yes, you do see there highlighted in gold, Joe Beardy ending RZM McQueen's 8-race winning streak with a victory out at the Indianapolis Brickyard in our final race of last Tuesday's broadcast. And it was a good thing he did it because it looked like McQueen may not stop. I mean, going for that 9th, who was going to stop him? Well, it took the oval to make it happen. We're going to go ahead and jump right into the lobby here as all the drivers are readied up. All 21 of the drivers. We're just 2 drivers short of a full lobby here this evening. Maybe we'll get those spaces occupied as the night goes on. But 3 laps of qualifying out at the Laguna Seca track. Chaos Fox resubscribing Tier 1 10 months in a row. Thank you, sir, very, very much. Oh, neat. Oh, neat. And yes, you may notice we've got some changes here on X. They're very minor. They're not huge, glaring, jump-in-your-face changes, but you may notice that the sub badges now here in the Twitch chat have been converted from helmets to what are now just squares with EXE in the middle of them, and the color corresponding with your subscription level, or at least the amount of times that you've been subscribed to the channel. And once you hit the 1-year mark, that's when you get the gold subscription badge. And then we also have some new emotes for the subscribers as we get ready for LA Noire in about 3 weeks. So you'll notice that there are some interesting emotes available there to subscribers. Again, that's in preparation for the LA Noire broadcast beginning on February 21st. And then we also have some new emotes for those of you who have contributed via Twitch bits. Yes, those of you who have sent in your bits to the channel. You've got... I tried to be as humorous with them as I possibly could. I tried. That's not to say that they're good. But we've got a couple of them from the GOAT. If you are a 10,000-bit donator, we don't have one of those. But, hey, if you happen to be one, you get the GOAT emote. If you what is it, 5,000? Donate 5,000 bits, you get a lousy T-shirt emote. And then if you donate up to 1,000 bits, it's the 1,000-bit icon here on Twitch with my face plastered all over it. So there you go. And here we are, underway, out at Mazda Raceway, the old Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, as we ride on board a little bit here with Fear the Fun, who's the first off the line and really trying to turn things around here in week number 3. No, he's not going to be in the running for the championship if he is able to turn things around both tonight, tomorrow, or not tomorrow, a week from tonight, which would be week number 4, and then the finale 2 weeks from now on February the 9th. But still, being as competitive as you can is the name of the game in racing, right? So what if you had a crappy start to the season? If you're able to make good of it here at the back half of the season, well then kudos to you. And guess what? You can be the spoiler by performing well. Even if you aren't having such a hot season, by performing well, you could take points off the table for anybody else who is in the running. So a great way to be a spoiler, right? Nothing more fun than being a spoiler and knocking somebody a rung or two down. Jay Wimset 27, thank you very much for the follow. And by the way, I just realized that I do not have my alerts rolling, so we're going to go ahead and run those back here in just a second as we see Slim Jim now making his way around the track. He's got that orange number board there, 355 on the side of the 360 Challenge Stradale, and we'll talk about this car here in a little bit during our intermission. That gold number board symbolizes that Slim Jim is new to the series, new to the Forza Spec Racing series. And so if you are a newcomer, it doesn't matter how long you've been playing Forza Motorsport. If you've been if you are a newcomer, it's your inaugural season in FM4, you'll get that orange number board, and then after your first season, then you get the green number board. For more information about the Forza Spec Racing series and how to get registered, participate, and prepare yourself for season number 39, head on over to reddit.com/r/FM4. All right, I've got the alerts up now, I do believe. So let's go ahead and give the due respect and knowledge here to SGR Chaos Fox with the subscription 10 months in a row. Might be one of the longer subscription streaks that I currently have. And Chaos Fox, I think, unless I stand corrected here by Chaos Fox, is one of the two subscribers who has submitted his name, because if you're a subscriber, you get to select a corner out at VIR, which is the final track of season 38. You get to select a corner and name that corner, and then there in the finale, 2 weeks from tonight, I will be calling out your corner as drivers are making their way around the track. For that information, head on over to the link that Nightbot is going to drop into the channel for you there. There it is. Head on over there. If you're not subscribed yet, well, consider it. If you want to support this broadcast, in which 100% of the proceeds I get after Twitch takes their cut go directly back to production, and then also viewer raffles, giveaways, then using your Prime Gaming or a paid subscription would be your way to contribute, and then you too can click on that link, complete that form, and name a corner out at VIR. It is Cuda93. That can't be right. Hold on. Nothing against Cuda, but the time didn't look right, and there we go. SGR Floofy with a 132.053. If Floofy gets pole, I believe this will be Floofy's second time getting pole here in season number 38 as we watch Savage Reaper get around the track. Let's go ahead to our pole sitter, or at least the driver with the top spot right now, and we'll see if that changes here on this third and final lap. It's it's one standing start out of the three, and then the two remaining laps are your flying lap. There's Stevie Superstack right now with the fourth quickest qualifying time, having a little bit of trouble entering the corkscrew. And now JWim set 27. There you go. There's your little acknowledgement at the bottom of the screen. Thank you for the follow, and anybody else who may be joining us perhaps for the first time, or maybe you've been here before and you just, I don't know, let's just chalk it up to you forgot to click the button. Click that follow button here on Twitch, and that way whenever I do go live, you'll get the notification. Makes it easier for you to find the channel and all that good stuff. There goes Floofy across the line, still with the top time. Now has brought it down to a 131.752. So what was before a 132 is now a 131. Can anybody top that? Let's see. Cratrium now has crossed the line, and no, he will not be able to do better than Floofy there. And we'll take a look at all the lap times once the qualifying session has come to a close. Let's go back to Audrex, who's going to be crossing the line, and Audrex right now with the seventh quickest time out there on the track, Laguna Seca. Beautiful day, nice and dry as it always is here in Forza Motorsport 7. There is no precipitation option out at Mazda Raceway. And yes, I know it's WeatherTech Raceway nowadays, but I'm just going to keep referring to what it is in-game. 2 tracks in California. This coming off of week number 2, where we had both races out at Indianapolis, the Grand Prix circuit, and then that was followed by the Brickyard. So who knows? Maybe at some point we'll venture out of the wide world of North America and into the expanse of the rest of the countries. We'll take a look at the schedule here in just a second. Let's look at those post-race results or post-qualifying results. Fear the Fun with a 133.845. And then we got McQueen, who is going to be opposite of Floofy on row number 1 with a 131.892. So just a little bit more than a tenth of a second off from Floofy's 131.752. Then you see Stevie Superstack with a 133.184. Slim Jim with a 139, a 132 for Cray Trim, a 138 for Savage Reaper. That's one dirty lap. SGR Chaos Fox with a 138.1. And we've got LS Barney with a 133, a 133 also for Corbett, a 140 for Grim, a 134 for Slipstream, a 136 for Modern Weapon, Audrex with a 135, Jacob T. BOED with a 134, a 135 for Joe, 134 for Kuda, 133 for the Barf Monkey, and a 134 for Funtang, leaving 134.981 for Slow Motion Fire. All right. I see we've got Barf Monkey in the driver's spotlight, and anytime you've got somebody by the name of Barf Monkey, you absolutely most positively bring them into the broadcast booth. Barf Monkey, how are you doing? You finished qualifying here with a 133 out at Laguna Seca. Are you pretty happy with that? And how does that set you up here for the race out at the track in the desert? Oh, well, I had him. Let's try this again. Barf Monkey, can you hear me? You got yourself muted. You got to unmute. Test, test. Can you hear me? All right, no luck there with Barf Monkey. Let me go ahead and get back to the standings here real quick, just to remind you all where we are heading into Week 3 action. RZ and McQueen still at the top with those 100 points garnered from week number 1. Week number 2 wasn't that bad for McQueen. It's just that week 1 happened to be better. And if that doesn't change throughout the season, then week 2 could possibly be McQueen's drop week here for the 5 weeks that there are in season 38. Floofy there with the 94, Corey with 90, Audrex with 90, Joe Beardy 86. Again, ending that 8 race winning streak there that that McQueen had. McQueen going for his 9th victory out at the Brickyard Oval, but Joe Beardy had something to say about that. And it wasn't just by happenstance. Joe Beardy qualified on pole and then won the race. Very well done. Stevie Superstack with a 77-point total. Cratrim with 76. Chaos Fox with 75. Barney and Slow Motion Fire 74, 64, respectively. And then you see column number 2 there off to the right. Kuda on down to Savage Reaper. And yes, there are no other names, but hey, you got to get into the top 20 to make the list. Make that a personal goal. Even if the championship is way out of reach for you, make the top 20 your goal so that you can see yourself on the leaderboard each and every night that we're broadcasting here, the Forza Spec Racing Series. Here's your 2003 Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale in all its glory. And that glory is A700 class here in Forza Motorsport 7, the performance index score that Forza Motorsport has as its way of baselining cars, or not really baselining, but assessing vehicles for their top speed, handling, braking, acceleration, all that good stuff. 438 horsepower, 294 foot-pounds of torque, and it's putting out all that power while carrying 2,864 pounds of curb weight. You see all the upgrades that are available there. If you want to participate in the Forza Spec Racing Series, you have to upgrade your vehicle to spec. That's why it's called a Spec Series. And then you can do all the tuning that you need to do or want to do, whatever it is that you desire to get the car to do the things that you want it to do. By the way, for those of you who said 0 to 2 there on the qualifying, congrats. We only had one. Let's do one quick prediction here, and then we'll take a look at the schedule for not only tonight, but then heading into the next 2 weeks, and then we'll get ready for racing out here at Laguna Seca. Let's say that this prediction here is going to be, will Floofy finish first? That's the question. He got pole. Will it be good enough for a victory? And I'll give you a nice 15 minutes for this one. Go for it. Will Floofy be the winner here out at Laguna Seca? And we are still waiting for a couple of drivers to ready up. So I've got just enough time to go and look at the schedule, I think. Yeah, I do. There we go. Week number 3, that's where we're at right now. January 26th, 19 laps out at Mazda Raceway Laguna Seca, 70 laps out at Long Beach West, the West Route. Because that West Route does not have a pit lane, that race will be a tire and fuel damage only, or I guess tire degradation and fuel depletion only. There will be no contact damage to the cars, therefore not rendering or necessitating any sort of pit stop in that race. And then we've got another crazy one next week, week number 4, heading out to Suzuka Full for 13 laps. That's not the crazy part, but then it's followed up by 4 laps out at the Nürburgring Nordschleife, which will have damage turned on, to my understanding. So that's always a fun ride right there. You got a lot of mileage to cover to get 1 lap complete, to get right back around to where you might have to make a pit stop. Let's hope that you don't. You make a pit stop, and usually that's the critical turning point in the race for you, when you might go from good to bad if you do have to stop in there. And then week number 5, our finale out at Virginia International Raceway. And again, folks, do not forget, if you are a subscriber, do not leave this out on the table. Make full use of it. Name a corner out on the track. It's going to be fun, I promise you. You name it, I'll read it out. Sub takeover, that's where you need to go. And if you're not a sub right now, again, you can consider that. If the channel here brings you value, and if you have any questions about what that value might possibly be, let me know. But if the channel brings you value, click that sub button, use your Prime Gaming subscription token or through a paid subscription, and then click on that link for that Google form, and you too can have a corner out at Virginia International Raceway for me to call out. All right, here we go out to the track. It's going to be Floofy on pole. Arzia McQueen opposite him there on row number 1. And as soon as Floofy indicates that he is ready to depart, we will go. A little bit of a jump there by, who is that there in the back in row 2? Actually, row 3, that is Barf Monkey, maybe getting a little bit of a head start. Here we go, kick the tires, light the fires, ladies and gentlemen. Week number 3 in the 2003 Ferrari 360. How many threes can we throw in there? Is underway. Stevie Superstack, he's in 3rd. There you go, there's at least one other 3. Not before, looks like Audrex maybe jumping in there and grabbing, that's Cratrium jumping in there and picking up 3rd, at least for now, as they go side by side, wheel to wheel through turn number 3. And now up to the right-hander toward the Mother's Bridge they'll go, and they'll hook a left-hander and up the hill toward the Rahal Straight. The Queen with the chunk car there in 2nd, trying to maybe pick up where he left off in week number 1 or maybe even week number 2. That first race at the GP circuit, he just commandeered that race. Like, there was nobody had a shot at even taking that victory away from him. So we'll see what he's going to be able to manage here with Floofy right now, out in front by about 2 car lengths. Down the hill into that sweeping left-hander they'll go, and it's into that right-hander, which has plenty of camber to work with. You just got to get the speed right, though. Otherwise, you'll end up in the sand trap. And now here they go past the pit lane entrance, and we'll see if anybody does have to go into pit lane, although it doesn't appear so. Everybody's still on track and in a pretty good formation. And across the line for the beginning of lap number 2, it's Floofy out in front. McQueen is in 2nd. In 3rd, it's Cratrium, Stevie Superstack, Fear the Fun, Audrex, LS Barney, Joe Beardy, Barf Monkey, and Slipstream. That's your top 10. Let's go to Slipstream there, who is not only rounding out the top 10, well, now has moved up 2 spots here through the Andretti hairpin. Can he secure it, however? He drops back 1 to 9th as Joe Beardy goes ahead and assumes 8th right now. And now here comes Barf Monkey to the inside through turn number 3 on Slipstream. And it's after 10th where there's a little bit of a break in the action before you pick up 11th, 12th, 13th, all the way back to what looks to be 16th or 17th. And now here comes Barf Monkey on the charge to the inside of Slipstream before he backs off. You can see it visibly. Barf Monkey hitting the brakes there. Did not want to get into the side of Slipstream. Not this early. No way, no how. And now back up in the hill into the Ray Hall straight they go underneath that Pepsi. I think it's a Pepsi. Yeah, it is. Pepsi banner there. And back into the corkscrew. Let's ride on board here with Slipstream. Right there on the back of Barf Monkey, letting him know, hey, you haven't gotten rid of me yet. Let's go up to Fear the Fun, who's in 5th position. And this is a good showing so far for Fear the Fun. However, as is often the case, he gets a little anxious and sometimes goofs it up. So not wishing that upon him, but certainly looking to see if a lack of consistency is going to boot him out of the P5 spot that he's currently in, as he goes a little bit wide, grabs the dirt. You see it kind of throws the car off a bit as the right rear wheel gets all that torque, all that power, while that left wheel kind of spins around in the gravel, and it has a tendency to yank your car back over. And that's how you got to be careful and not to overcorrect and spin the car. Back up the hill they go, and he is harassing Audrex to no end at this point. Now into the top of the corkscrew. Hard on the brakes. Don't want to collide with anybody, and you don't want to run it too wide and risk exceeding track limits there. Fear the Fun maybe a little bit too far on the bottom portion of the corkscrew. And now they go in single file with RZ and McQueen still in second, Floofy in first, and these two are now running their own race. They don't even want to invite anybody to the party. They've shut and locked the door. Invitations never went out. And now these two are going to tango for another 17 laps. Make that 16. It's a 19-lap race. 20th lap is a cool down into the right-hander. That's the only corner right there that I always have trouble with. That one back there, that right-hander, I can never get the timing right. There's no camber to it, even though most of the corners here at Laguna Seca do have camber. The only other one I can think of that doesn't is the Andretti hairpin. Well, in the final left-hander toward the start-finish line, that one too. Let's go ahead and drop back where a little bit more of the action is. Let's go to Stevie Superstack in 4th position. Tucked in between Cratrim in 3rd and Audrex in 5th. And here comes Audrex now into the inside, up the Ray Hall straight, because it looks like, yeah, Cratrim got off into the dirt there a little bit. And now Audrex giving Stevie Superstack's teal 360 challenge Stradale. A little bit of tap there on the rear bumper. And now down the hill, here they come in single file formation. And let's see what Audrex is going to try here as they get ready to cross the line for the beginning of lap number 5. Once again and always, I appreciate y'all tuning in here on a Tuesday evening. Hopefully it's a good one for you. It's the final Tuesday of January 2021. We'll be back a week from tonight with Week 4 action in the beginning of February. Stevie Superstack on the defensive here. Holding off not only Audrex, but he's got Cratrim back there as well. Let's jump back once again. Let's go to LS Barney in 7th position, back behind Joe Beardy. Joe Beardy, our Brickyard race winner last Tuesday night. And there's a whole swarm in Don't color me shocked. We've got Fear the Fun, who's back there in 9th position. He's dropped back a little bit. Hopefully he can get it figured out here for the rest of the race, stay within the top 10, and maybe even get back up into 6th, possibly even 5th if he can make that charge. Froggy, 771. Beat boop to you as well. Welcome. Let's go to 5th. Cratrium. Still back there behind Audrex and Stevie. And actually, let's go quickly up to RZ McQueen. He's caught up here with Floofy as they go bumper to bumper into the corkscrew. My, oh my. Could it get any closer? And Floofy runs it wide. That's going to allow McQueen to make the pass, at least for now. And so a change in leader here on lap 6. Looks like a nice race. It is, Froggy. Just every single week fails to disappoint. And of course, that's a good thing. Awesome stuff here in the Forza Spec Racing Series. RZ McQueen, Floofy, Joe Beardy, Cratrium, Audrex, the whole gang, everybody from front to the back of the field. Awesome stuff. And it doesn't matter your capability, your skill. If you can race clean, they're happy to have you. Reddit.com/r/FM4. There you go, Nightbot hooking it up. Let's go back to that pass there about a lap ago here between RZ and McQueen and Floofy, with Floofy, again, having some sort of mistake, running wide out on the bottom portion of the corkscrew. And there goes McQueen scooting on past. The X-Venture rewind there for you. And here they are a lap later, with places exchanged, and now about a car-and-a-half length lead there RZ and McQueen has on Floofy. It might be McQueen establishing now a pace that is going to make it very difficult for Floofy to keep up with. Let's go to Slipstream, who now has fallen back to 9th. Slipstream we saw a bit further up than where he currently sits. He's out in front of Barf Monkey there, who is in 10th. Fear the Fun in 8th. Barney in 7th. Joe Beardy in 6th. Cratrim in 5th. Stevie Superstack in 4th. And Audrex now has moved up to 3rd, getting around Stevie. Froggy says, I have alerts on, but it doesn't tell me when you go live. Froggy, you might want to check in your spam or junk folder. Sometimes Twitch, I think, gets regarded as spam, and so you might have to check there. Otherwise, the only other thing I can recommend is maybe toggling it off and then back on and see if that helps the next time, and then we could test it out on Friday when I go live for my next cast. But, yeah, I have heard issues with notifications. And I think that's because the Twitch servers are just so overwhelmed with trying to send out that notifications. I mean, if you think of the thousands of Twitch channels that there are and the thousands of viewers that exist, maybe on average, mostly for those bigger name channels, it's a lot of notifications that got to go out. And so sometimes I think it gets congested. Audrex now starting to take off there in 3rd position, leaving Stevie Superstack and Cratrium to fight it out for 4th. Let's go to Fear the Fun, 8th position. But you can always predictably plan for my broadcast to be live Tuesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern, like we are here tonight. Fridays at 6 p.m. Eastern. And then I continue to throw you for a loop with an 8 a.m. start on Sundays. Look at this. We got 2 wide. That's going to be Fear the Fun. Joe Beardy as they cross the line. They're going to get a little bit of air here as they go over the hump. Hopefully that doesn't lead to any sort of significant collisions. It doesn't this time around. Fear the Fun's going to be on the high line here through the Andretti hairpin. He's going to loop it back in onto the back end there of Joe Beardy, who's running in, oh my gosh, and Fear the Fun is even going to traverse through the dirt to get on by Joe Beardy. How about that move? Yeah, I don't know what to say about that one. Little track extension there. I mean, Laguna Seca isn't the widest track to race on. And so I guess maybe sometimes you got to get a little creative, particularly coming out of that Andretti hairpin. When you got these large groupings like we have here from 6th on back to 10th, between turns 2 and 3, there's not really a lot of room. That's not to say that you absolutely should. But Fear the Fun most certainly did as we go back to our X-Venture rewind. And, well, the rewind is just going to go back a ways here. And there it was. So Fear the Fun now moving up to 7th. He's going to lead one of the midfield groupings. There's a couple of them, but he's going to lead the bunch that are 7th through 10th or 11th? 10th with Slipstream. So as I run through the field, it's Arzia McQueen who has assumed the leader position about 2-3 laps ago. Still in that spot. Floofy in 2nd. Audrex, Cratrium, Stevie Superstack. There goes Barney and Fear the Fun on the high line. Barney in 6th. Fear the Fun in 7th. Joe Beardy is in 8th. Barf Monkey in 9th. Slipstream in 10th. Then it's Kuda, Jacob T, Slow Motion Fire, Foontang, Chaos Fox, AP1 Raccoon, Modern Weapon, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, and Grim, 11th through 20th. And those are the 20 drivers who joined this race. Actually, I believe we're down a racer from the start. Unless somebody just did not launch with the beginning of this race. Let's jump back to Joe Beardy. By the way, if you were here for the countdown, the intro, you may have seen that graphic and heard the sound of a winter wind. And on that graphic it said, winter's just getting started. What does that mean? Well, hang tight through the remainder of this broadcast. After tonight's racing, I will share with y'all something I'm pretty excited about. And for those of you who are as excited about it as I, well, you have an opportunity to put me to the test. We'll see what I'm talking about here a little bit later on this evening. LS Barney now leading the charge across the line, beginning lap 11. Joe Beardy with the VirtueCon livery, which somebody there in the chat last week reminded me that is from Austin Powers. How did I forget? One of my favorite comedy, not series, but like movie film series. It's 3 films. I love that one. Good, stupid, fun. I'm not a film critic. That's the best I can do. It really is. Let's go up to Cratrim in 4th. He's challenging Audrex now, as Cratrim has gotten around Stevie Superstack, and you see Stevie there in that again, that teal challenge. Stradale has fallen back quite a ways, and really he's got nobody behind him. So Stevie might find himself on that racing island here very, very soon as they go into the final left-hander here at Laguna Seca. In the aperture, Portal call out. And the reason for these fictitious companies is that's the theme here for Season 38. They have all kinds of fun in the Forza Spec Racing Series. It's about the racing. It's about the brotherhood, the sisterhood, the friendships and fun and banter that they have. A beer league, they consider themselves. But they're pretty serious with the racing. Not serious enough that if you know that you're slow, that they wouldn't welcome you. They most certainly will. And then also, they come up with these themes each season and encourage you to participate. They want to see what creativity you have. And even if you're not the best with the painting feature here in Forza Motorsport, well, grab some vinyls off the storefront and throw together a car to suit your fancy. And then as far as the tuning goes, even if you're not the best tuner in the world, you know you are a little bit short on the tuning capability. Well, guess what? All the drivers here, or at least those who are kind of renowned and known for their excellent tuning capability, and there goes Barf Monkey, kind of sliding it into the entry of the corkscrew. Those who know their way around the tuning feature, they're happy to help out and lend you a tune. So all kinds of reasons to join the Forza Spec Racing Series, and it's those many reasons that have made it one of the longest running community series that you will find in Forza Motorsport, dating back all the way to the Forza Motorsport 4 days. That's actually where they get their FM4 name. If you go to their Reddit subforum, FM4 is kind of what they call it. I call it the Forza Spec Racing Series, so as not to confuse anybody that this is not Forza Motorsport 4. Here we are with Kratrium in fourth. He's trying to hang with Audrex, although Audrex trying to open up a little bit of a gap here. And Stevie is now on that racing island. The closest driver to him is a back marker. Let's go to Barf Monkey back there in ninth. We saw him do that slide and continues to slide, even sliding it into the left-hander back up the hill. Somebody find Barf Monkey some grip in that 360. Froggy saying, painting and tuning is not my strong suit. Well, I'm glad I was able to address that for you. I would have to see how good I do playing after while on a new account. Okay. Well, hey, like I always say, there's no better time than the present to get into the Forza Spec Racing Series, because then that sets you up nicely for the next season. We've got 3 spots that are open here tonight, and that's not to say, hey, grab a controller and try to get yourself in tonight. They wouldn't be able to work that out with you this evening, but if you register between now and next Tuesday, then you can certainly join in on the fun there in week number 4. And then that way, come week 39, you've got yourself kind of acclimated and familiarized with how things run. Because, and that's really my best recommendation, because jumping in fresh at the start of a new season and new to the series and still trying to learn the ropes, it's not necessarily the best way. The best way is to get in on these last couple of races of a season and then go into the off season, get yourself all ready, motivated, and excited to go, and then come the new season, everybody starts with 0 points and see how well you can do. Let's go to Kratrium here. This is a nice one, a nice battle for the final podium spot that's available at least right now. 14 laps about to be in the books, and tripping it over to lap 15 will be McQueen here shortly, as he and Floofy now enter the straightaway toward the start-finish line. Where do you register at? Great question. Reddit.com/r/FM4. Head on over there. If you can't find it, I know it's kind of tricky there. I know some of the feedback has been that it's a little bit difficult to find. Reach out to Slow Motion Fire on Xbox Live. That's Slow Motion Fire, all together, no spaces or underscores. Hit them up and say, hey, I'd like to participate. Or you can also reach out to the Forza Spec Racing Series on Twitter. They've got a Twitter handle, which is FM4_spec. But the Reddit should get you squared away. Just kind of poke around in there and you'll eventually find it. Kuda into the top 10 here. Now challenging Fear the Fun, entering the Andretti hairpin. Leak-less adult drip pans. That's the sponsor there for Kuda 93. The adult drip pans. Love it. Now here comes Kuda. Oh, he's wobbling. Skateboarding in underneath the, what is that, the Pirelli or Bridgestone? I can't remember what tire bridge that is, but now he's going to go to the outside here of Fear the Fun into the left-hander. He's going to cut it in, kind of smush Fear the Fun against the apex, and oh, here they come, and they got somebody who's off into the dirt. Is that Barf Monkey? I think it is. And oh boy, too wide into that corner there is never really a great decision, and it's going to be Fear the Fun who's going to pay for it. He's off into the kitty litter, allowing Kuda to move up to 9th, and here comes Kuda to the inside of Barf Monkey, and oh, I was about to say that was going to be the move of the day, but let's see, can he make it happen here into the sweeping left-hander, I should say, and that's actually going to line him up nicely here for the right-hander, and Kuda's got it, up into 8th he goes. Well done. He set it up at the entry to the corkscrew and then executed well in the two turns thereafter. Nicely done. And now Barf Monkey, he's still going to challenge for that spot, but Kuda's got it at least for now. Oh, and Kuda, a little bit of understeer. Sends him wide through the Andretti hairpin, and just like that, Barf Monkey grabs P8 once again. Let's go back to that move there. A beautiful move by Kuda. They actually, Froggy, they do have a Discord server, so if you look there in the Reddit forum, you should be able to find the link to the Discord server. I gotta get the Discord from link from Slow Motion Fire, because then I could just put it as a command and that would make it easy. But yeah, they do have a Discord. Whoops. And you guys are in the infinite loop of X-Venture Rewind. Let me pull you out of that time continuum. Let me pull you out of that universe and into this one. Kuda not letting up. Here they go. Beginning of lap 17 of 19. And now here comes Kuda to the inside. Remember, he was wide last lap through, and now they're going to go side by side. Look at this. It takes two to tango. And Barf Monkey's got it again for now. Oh, and a little bit of contact there. I don't know if you all heard it. I heard it through my headphones. Barf Monkey able to get the car stabilized and continue on. The more these two battle it out, the more they're allowing Fear the Fun to stay in the picture. Fear the Fun is right there in 10th and would rather not fall out of that position. And there goes both Barf Monkey and Kuda grabbing a little bit of the dirt. They were able to get back on the track pretty quickly. Nice recoveries by them both. But yet another way for Fear the Fun to close the gap. Let's go to Cratrium, Audrex, and let's ride on board with Cratrium. know about y'all, but I counted a few instances there where it looked like Cratrim was maybe playing it safe. Across the line goes McQueen and Floofy. The white flag flies. And now here comes Audrex and Cratrim. And wow, Cratrim making contact and then quickly taking himself onto the outside line for the approach into the final left-hander. Yeah, there seemed to be a couple of instances there where Cratrim took it easy. Maybe he's going to try to make his move here on the final lap. So let's hang tight here with this battle for third. Right now, McQueen has the lead by a pretty safe margin right now. Floofy in second. And between those two, they've got a back marker. Then it's Audrex and Cratrim here, 3 and 4. Back underneath the Mother's Bridge for the final time. Is there a battle for 5th and 6th? No, it's Stevie Superstack who is kind of running solo now after he lost track of these two. And then his closest competitor is Joe Beardy, who's probably about 3 seconds back. And then even LS Barney in 7th is riding solo right now. The closest battle then after 3rd and 4th is going to be 8th, 9th, and 10th. That's going to be Barf Monkey, Kuda, and Jacob T. BOED. Here goes Cratrim now. What will he do here in the final left-hander? Audrex locking it up a little bit of tire smoke, and across the line they'll come. Audrex in 3rd, Cratrim in 4th. Stevie Superstack will grab 5th, Joe Beardy in 6th, LS Barney in 7th. Let's go to Kuda in 9th position. And Barf Monkey in front of him in 8th. And it doesn't appear to be a change in position here as Barf is nicely lined up, pegs the apex, then swings it out onto the curbing and across the line. 8-9, Barf, Kuda. 10th is Fear the Fun, Jacob T. BOED. Just not going to have enough racetrack to try to catch up. Funtang there you see in 12th position. That'll be followed by Chaos Fox in 13th, Slow Motion Fire in 14th, Slipstream in 15th, AP1 Raccoon in 16th, then Modern Weapons, Slim Jim, Savage Reaper, and Grim. Hang tight, folks. The racing is not over. We've just completed the first of 2 here this evening. The next one we have is 70 laps around Long Beach West. My, oh my. Hang tight. That's going to be a fun one. We are going to run some ads here. Again, as always, if you would kindly sit through the ads, it does support the broadcast, but then also helps anybody who might be joining us a little bit later on from having to deal with those pesky pre-roll ads, and instead they'll get right into the action, and then that way they don't have to miss any of the qualifying or the racing that's coming up here out at Long Beach. I'm Dustin Moore. You're watching week number 3 here, Forza Spec Racing Series, live on Twitch TV. We'll be right back after this commercial break. And welcome back to X Venture here on Twitch TV. Yeah, winter's just getting started. Hang tight after this race out at Long Beach. I'll tell you a little bit more about that. Here are the standings entering week number 3. This does not take into account the race that we just saw out at Long Beach, but just gives you a reminder of where things stand. RZ and McQueen picking up the win out here at Long Beach. That's going to bode well for him after a week where he didn't get both the victories, that being week number 2 out at Indianapolis. I'm Dustin Moore, and we've got next coming up the Long Beach West Route, 70 laps of racing. That'll be preceded by the, what do you call it, the qualifying period. Sorry, I saw something catch me from the corner of my eye, and I didn't quite understand what was going on, and then I realized, oh yeah, that's the Twitch predictor counting down. Cast your vote. Will McQueen or Floofy qualify on pole for this race out at Long Beach, or will it be somebody else? So basically, I'm asking you, will it be one of those two, or will it be somebody entirely different? Cast your vote using your executables. That's the new name of the channel points here on X Venture, and that way you can see if you can redeem a few of those channel points. Channel points are always important here on X Venture because what I do is after so much time has passed where we've had subscription support and all that, I turn that revenue around into the form of viewer giveaways or viewer raffles. So wager some of your points, but don't wager all of them, or maybe wager all of them with hopes that perhaps if the other side of the wager is doing the same, that maybe you can win a pretty sizable amount of the pot. So there you go. Will McQueen or Floofy qualify on pole, or will it be somebody else? And that's enough of looking at the standings right now. Here's a look at the schedule. Yes, we just wrapped up Laguna Seca there, the 19 laps. So we've got Long Beach coming up. Then it'll be week number 4 there a week from tonight, February the 2nd. That's going to be Suzuka full for 13, Nürburgring Nordschleife for 4 laps, and then VIR for the finale in week number 5. Stevie Superstack joins me in the driver's spotlight. Stevie, looks like 5th position out there at Laguna Seca. Pretty well done. You lost track, however, of Kratrum and Audrex there for a bit, which would have maybe given you a shot for 3rd.
Yeah, I did lose track of them. I kind of figured halfway through the race, I knew that they were faster than me. I just figured I'd let them go and save my hands for the race coming up here.
Save your hands for the race that's coming up. Now, that's interesting because, you know, Chaos Fox is saying actually, it's DWM Frog who's saying smash up Derby time. And I know Chaos Fox was saying, hey, this very much like the oval out at the Brickyard, which could be interesting. This one should be interesting. What cards are you holding close to your chest here for Long Beach?
Well, it's going to be interesting, and yes, I am the culprit who picked this track, but nobody knows who's going to win this one. Anybody can win it. Anything can happen. At no point in this race where there'll not be a car behind you and in front of you. So it's going to be constantly just trying to not run into people and stay clean.
Talking with Stevie Superstack here in the driver's spotlight in between races this evening. The West Route. So please remind me here, as I have obviously not done my due diligence, is this the side with the roundabout, or is this the side with, I guess it is the roundabout side of the track, yes?
Yes, with the fountain in it, yeah.
Right. Okay. How does the 360 Stradale here manage the curves? I mean, there can be some pretty crude curbing out here at Long Beach, depending on the car. What's it like for the Ferrari?
I think it handles it pretty well. I don't have the greatest setup on right now. It's a little understeery, but I've noticed other cars have been just oversteering through the chicane or the water fountain and the last turn. So who knows? I kind of went with a consistent setup. Hopefully it pays off in the long run. It might not be the fastest lap after lap, but just to put enough laps together to make it matter. I think we might be in contention today. Who knows?
And so what are you aiming for here? Are you trying to get one of those either P3 or P4 spots back despite having lost them at Laguna Seca? Is that kind of your redemption opportunity here?
I would be happy with a top 5 here, honestly, because there's a lot of fast people running this week and anything can happen. So if I finish top 5 or qualify top 5, I'm going to be pretty happy. But either way, I'm looking forward. I'm excited to do this race because I've never had the opportunity to put 21 drivers on a half-mile track before. And it's going to be entertaining either way.
It'll be entertaining. Let's go ahead and let's chat about this after and see how excited you are after the fact. Stevie Superstack, best of luck to you at Long Beach.
Absolutely. Thanks, Dustin.
All right, and then real quick here before qualifying gets underway, because I do see that almost everybody is readied up. We've got SGR Floofy just shy, about a half a race shy of winning out there at Long Beach before McQueen was able to swoop in and take it. Does very much like what Stevie has just explained to us, does this change the game up, though, out at Long Beach with all the traffic? Is this your chance to maybe grab a victory here in Season 38?
We'll see. I was hoping Laguna's sake it would be it, given my pace, but I just was making little silly mistakes, letting McQueen by. But yeah, anything can happen at Long Beach for sure.
Well, let's revisit that, because I did see we were there with you, camera on you, when entering the corkscrew. Everything looked good, even though McQueen was very much right on your tail. So that's the intimidation factor probably playing in a little bit, and then looked like maybe just swinging it a little bit wide there on the downside of the corkscrew.
Yeah, I got there's a very specific line in the corkscrew that just causes the car to go straight on, loses grip, or bottoms out, and I hit exactly that line at exactly the wrong time, unfortunately.
All right, Floofy. Well, better luck here. Not that second is bad, but better luck out here at Long Beach.
Thank you very much.
All right, we'll go ahead and let Floofy get on back there into the driver's comms channel. That way he can get readied, as everybody is marked as good to go. So Slow Motion Fire will get us going here pretty quickly. This is going to be a pain, says Chaos Fox. He just continues to stress the fact that this won't be one of the most fun races on the schedule. And there's quite a few of them. We had the Brickyard last week, week number 2. We've got the Long Beach West route here in week 3. The Nürburgring Nordschleife, so not heading out to the GP circuit, but the Nordschleife there for week number 4. And then VIR for the finale, which I don't think anybody really hates Virginia International Raceway. I think it's just the fact that it pops up so often in the multiplayer lobbies that a lot of people are like, gosh, can we stop running this track already? But here in an organized series, it's a little bit different, because we don't see all the tracks every single season. And VIR, I can't even think of the last time that we raced this one. So folks might actually be looking forward to that one. So maybe it's week 1 and week 5, the bookending weeks that we don't have one of these kind of oddball circuits. And now here we go. It is the West route out at Long Beach, and already we've got Stevie Superstack heading into that roundabout section that has the Bubba Gump Shrimp Factory there and the aquarium on the opposite end of the circuit here. They'll come down the straightaway pretty quickly. I mean, already we've got the lead car here coming across the line for a 3-lap qualifying session. We're going to be done in very quick order. Let's go ahead and throw those race stats there. 26 seconds. 26 seconds for a standing start lap. We'll see what Stevie's able to muster on a flying lap. Let's go to Chaos Fox, who's already scared and not looking forward to this one. Just that quick. It is just that quick. Here comes Cratrium. Slim Jim back there. This is going to be a nauseating race. Look at our track map there in the left-hand corner with the dots just flying around at breakneck speed. I mean, really, your slowest corner is going to be possibly the right-hander right after the start-finish line. I mean, even the roundabout, you can carry a good amount of speed there as they go slamming into the tire wall here at the end of qualifying, as even the AI can't even slow the car. The 360 Challenge Stradale can't slow it down quick enough to avoid contact. And right now, Stevie, who we just talked to there in the driver's spotlight, a 1:19.398. That's for total time, but it's a 24-second. Oh, and there goes Floofy with a 24.686. Yeah, that was the Drivatar. I know. It was the Drivatar going into the wall. As we can hear it. We can hear him over and over and over again. Well, that was fast. That might have been the quickest qualifying we've ever had in the Forza Spec Racing Series. I don't know that there's been another one. All right. Let's see if we get anybody here in the driver's spotlight. But while we wait for that, let me take a look at the qualifying times. The 25.074 here for Joe Beardy, at 24.881 for Stevie, 25.262 for Fear the Fun. Chaos Fox with a 25.773. Fox Jason D with a 27.1. 27.066 there for Kuda, a 26.280 for Grim. Modern Weapon with a 25.8. Slipstream with a 25.1. Jacob T with a 25.4. 29.4 for Savage Reaper. AP1 Raccoon with a 25.6. Ellis Barney with a 25.7. Barf Monkey with a 25.339. Cratrium with a 24.898. Floofy with a 24.686. McQueen with a 24.9. Slim Jim with a 26.4. Foontaine with a 25.9. Drex with a 24.9. And Slow with a 26.1. Whew. Grim, I missed you there heading into Long Beach. We've got you now in the driver's spotlight, finishing with a 26.280. That was the easy part, 3 laps of qualifying. Now comes the hard part of 70 laps of racing.
Hi, Dustin.
That might be all that needs to be said going into this one, right?
Yeah, it's like I'm excited, but I haven't had any time to practice at all this week. So I'm literally right now kind of trying to throw together somewhat of a tune. That qualifying lap was just a quick and dirty tune that I made while waiting to start the quali.
It's one thing to have a short track. It's a whole other thing to have a short track and what looks to be 21 drivers on the grid. This isn't going to be so much racing the track as it is going to be racing the other vehicle, navigating. Don't let me even call it racing. It's just going to be navigating other traffic out there.
If Forza had a battle royale mode, this is it.
Unfortunately, it doesn't kick people out though, right? So they're going to be there for the long haul.
I'm just glad that we're only doing fuel and tires because I can't even imagine.
Oh yeah.
The roadblocks it would be otherwise.
Nobody would win. Everybody would be stuck. Terminal damage and race would come to an end with nobody claim the victor. Speaking here with Grim in the driver's spotlight, heading into the 6th race of the season. We're now on the back half of season 38. We look ahead to week number 4, which has got Suzuka and then the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So you just got to get through this one, and then are things looking up, at least for you, there in week number 4?
Not at all. I hate Suzuka so much. Suzuka is my most hated track in this entire game. Nordschleife I can take or leave. It's kind of fun just for the novelty, but Suzuka I absolutely can't stand.
Sounds like you would be okay with falling asleep tonight and then waking up and season 39 would be beginning. That season 38 would be nothing more than just a nightmare at this point.
More or less. It depends on the car for next season too.
Well, yeah. If things don't look any better in terms of the car, then I guess that would be just another death sentence, so to speak. You're 2 points back from Modern Weapon, a couple of points ahead of Fox Jason D. As I take a look here, it was not a great run out at out at Laguna Seca. So this could spell trouble for you on the standings. But is there anyone in particular who you most certainly want to beat here and beat in season 38?
I would like to beat Fox Jason D just because he and I have kind of had like not really a rivalry, but we've been kind of going back and forth just since the F100 season. We've both been progressing. He's been progressing a little faster than I have, which that's fine. He races more than I do. But it'd be nice to beat him. I'd like to beat Slim Jim just because he's new, and he and I have had a lot of really cool battles too. And he's improving. He's doing really well. I'm proud of him. I don't know. Fox Jason D probably. I'm rambling. Sorry.
There you go. You got a couple of targets on a few of the drivers out there on the track. Love to hear it. Love to hear, if and this is for everybody who's watching, even if you know that the top spot is out of reach, no chance, hey, find somebody on the track that you think you pair up nicely with and see if you can't beat them. Of course, in a race like this, it could just be a matter of who gets most fortunate and somewhat a little bit of luck involved. Grim, if there's one part of the track, though, that is your absolute nemesis, the whole 26 seconds of it that exist, where is it that's going to be your downfall?
Probably everybody's the fountain, Dustin. The fountain. The fountain.
I'm actually okay with the fountain. I mean, I guess in a tense racing environment, especially on the short west route, that fountain may not be so fun after 70 laps of going around it. But that one's never been my nemesis. I always figured, gosh, I don't know, the one coming out onto the straightaway toward the start-finish line, that turn I can never get correct, and I find myself slamming into the wall.
So the fountain and I have a bit of a history. Even back in FM6, I had a Tirana that I was racing in an online lobby, and it's the hedges. I always get caught up on the hedges. I don't know why, for whatever reason. It happened in FM6 all the time. It happened when we did the test and tune night. I just got stuck on the hedge. I couldn't move, and then it happened again during quali. During my second lap, I just got stuck on there.
Stuck on top of the fountain. There you go.
Mm-hmm.
Well, hopefully there's no getting stuck on the fountain in store for you here out at Long Beach for the 70 laps to close out week number 3. Good luck to you, Graham.
Thank you, Dustin.
We'll throw Grim back there into the racer comms. Let him get readied up here, and I'm guessing a lot of drivers reluctantly pressing that ready button. Is anyone truly ready for this race? Could you possibly really be all that ready to go? I don't know. We'll see. As a reminder, it is going to be Floofy who has picked up the pole spot. It looks like it's going to be Craytrim who's going to be opposite of him. For what that's worth, here to turn number 1, which comes very quickly. I don't know, within about 150 feet or so. It's a very short run up toward that right-hander. We'll see. Actually, no, McQueen is on row number 2. Or excuse me, row number 1 with Craytrim on row number 2 with Stevie Superstack. So that's how they'll line up. Then with Barf Monkey and Audrex in row 3, Barney and Fear the Fun, so on and so forth. And it looks like they've backed out. Gonna fix something there. Does Floofy? Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Does Floofy manage the win? That's all we could say for a race that's going to be as wacky as this one. There you go. Post up your predictions using your executables, your channel points here. Love to get your thoughts on this one. Chaos Fox saying wrong order. That explains things, so they'll get the order sorted. Floofy should still be on pole, though. I believe that's still a thing. There we go. We got somebody saying no. Here you go, folks. Wager those executables. Wager them and then securely pocket them when you've won. So that way when we have our next viewer giveaway, you can use those those executables to enter to win. We'll have that announced eventually, I'm sure. We're getting good support here on the broadcast, and I thank those subscribers for going above and beyond and helping here, and for everybody else who are following the channel, awesome. That's the absolute most that I ask, is that if you're enjoying the content here, clicking that follow button, that way you find your way back to XVenture, and then find me on Twitch, or excuse me, you're on Twitch. Follow me on Twitter as well. That way you can keep up to date on all the things that are going on with the Forza Spec Racing Series and then the other broadcasts that I do. And then also over on YouTube, if you happen to maybe miss some of the content here on the channel, well, you can find all of the videos available on demand at YouTube. Same name as the Twitch channel, XVenture, EXEVENTURE. Making it nice and easy. They're all the same. Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, same handle. So click all those follows, and over on YouTube, the subscribe button. The subscribe button over there is different from what it is here on Twitch. And then would love to see you come back. And for anybody who's watching, maybe this is your first time here, or maybe you're just kind of lurking, but you would like to say hi, throw a hello there in the chat. I like to engage with the viewers. So the more interactivity we can get going here, the more, I think, comical, fun, and entertaining the broadcast is. Maybe you've got thoughts on the race. You want to talk about video games. You want to talk about real-world motorsport. You want to talk about real-world sports. Keeping it family-friendly, that's the only request, and then we'll have ourselves a nice little combo here during this. But it's going to be 70 laps at the pace of about 26 to 29, 30 seconds per lap, because once we get all the cars on the track with collisions on, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to get around. So don't expect those quick times that we saw earlier on. The engines are revved up, and sorry, it's super loud. Let me bring that volume down for you there. Here we go. Kick the tires, light the fires. Floofy, our pole sitter, off the line. Stevie Superstack behind him, and you know those guys are just hoping, and they've got their fingers crossed, and they've got their bums clenched, hoping for no contact from the back. And now here comes Joe Beardy moving up to, looks like, fifth position. Oh, and he gets, I couldn't make out what car it was that he got in contact with, but somebody ran up onto the wall. I think that was Audrex, who was able to get back off the wall and is there in sixth. Yeah, I think that was the case. And so into the roundabout they'll go. Joe Beardy in fifth, Audrex in sixth. It's McQueen in fourth, Cratcham in third, Stevie Superstack in second, and Floofy in first. And by the way, this poll we've got, or this predictor, this Twitch predictor that we've got going, you still got plenty of time. So if you want to increase your wager, you most certainly can. Because I believe the more you wager, then that means the higher the percentage you'll get of the pot. So if you happen to be the top wagerer for one of the options, you'll get yours plus a larger percent back. And it looks like we got a fairly decent prediction on either side. 3.1 saying yes, Floofy. 3.1 executable saying that Floofy will manage the win here. And then 2.1 saying that no, it won't be Floofy, it'll be somebody else. And here comes Floofy now in second, because that looks to be Stevie. Yeah, it was Stevie there, who for a stint of time was in first. As they go back through the roundabout here, lap number 5. Long Beach now sponsored by Acura? Is it Acura or Hyundai? And then actually it might be nobody right now if the race isn't, if racing out at Long Beach is not happening here in 2021. There goes Stevie back up into first. Here comes McQueen. He's going to muscle his way through in the roundabout into third, and out to the inside here of Floofy. And more contact. Oh, this is going to be a dog-eat-dog race, as if they never were. No, they always are, but this one especially so, on such a short track, so many laps. There's going to be a lot of elbows out in this one as they go up and over the curbing. I do believe they've been given permission to go ahead and cut that corner a bit short. During qualifying, they had to mind the track limits so as to get a clean qualifying lap, but here in the race, they could exceed that. And now Floofy trying to maybe pull one on McQueen, and now they start to run into the back markers. That's Grimm, who, I mean, and here's the thing for the back markers is there's not going to be really any place for them to go. So I know the leaders are going to get agitated. There's going to be people who are just like, get out of my way. But really, there's going to be there has to be this kind of common understanding that really everybody's just in a bad spot. It doesn't even matter if you're the first place driver. You're probably going to be in the way for those who you may have lapped but are battling it out with somebody else. So everybody's just in the way in this race. Let's go ahead and go back to the X-Venture rewind there with McQueen getting around Stevie. I think I caught that. Maybe I didn't. Actually, I believe it's when McQueen was coming through the roundabout, the fountain section here. Go ahead and cut back. Look who is coming through, Joe Beardy. And actually, I would love to chat with Joe Beardy. I know he races exclusively on the wheel. This seems like one of those races where you maybe throw the racing wheel into the corner and say, give me the dang joystick, because this one's just going to be so crazy. He's going to be muscling that wheel the entire race. Stevie Superstack, by the way, is our leader. It is not Floofy. It is not McQueen. It is Stevie, and by about a quarter of the track. Now, that's not saying much. A quarter of the track really is only maybe, 100 feet. And we've got somebody who's very much on the inside down the front straightaway. Probably one of the back markers trying to get out of the way. Let's go to Audrex here in 6th position. I'm going to try to call the action the best I can. You guys are just along for the ride here. And they go bumping into each other as carefully as they can, only because you don't want to wreck somebody out. Now, you can't damage their vehicle. They've turned off the collision damage, and there goes Audrex as he slides it up into the final right-hander. That corner can be tricky. Yes, you've been given permission to cut that corner a little bit, but there's a lip there. The curbing has a lip to it, and then there's a bit of a bump there. I mean, we're running on a street course, a city streets here, so the track has not been perfectly smoothed out to accommodate the racing in all areas of the drivable surface. There's going to be areas that have these little bumps and headache areas. And speaking of headaches, there goes Audrex up into the wall. He gets a little bump from Modern Weapon because Modern Weapon had nowhere to go. And now Audrex falling back to 7th position. That's Fox Jason D, one of the back markers there, that gets by Audrex. But really, Audrex only losing 1 spot in that one. Let's see here. Stevie Superstack, McQueen playing catch-up, and he's doing so quite well. Although having to navigate the back markers, that's going to be Chaos Fox he gets around. Chaos Fox, who, I don't know, I can imagine already face-palming heading into this one. Avon Delay. I might be starting and stopping the words there in the wrong spots, but Avon Delay, thank you so much for the follow. Welcome to the broadcast and the craziness that is race number 6 here in the Forza Spec Racing Series, season number 38 in the Ferrari 360 Challenge Stradale. And we're still here with Arzy and McQueen, who's trying to play catch-up. And just as soon as he closes that gap, once you get a mix of back markers in, he falls back again. And now he's just trying to get around AP1 Raccoon and does so quite nicely there. Raccoon getting up onto the wall. And McQueen says, I'll go ahead and take that inside line. And there's Stevie up ahead. Sammy J. Pep says, I practiced with Steve the other day on here. It hurts my hands too much. I know. That's what I was saying, is that I don't know how you managed to put up with a wheel on this one if you're Stevie, but Joe Beardy. But I'm guessing he is. Stevie Superstacks, though, is still our race leader, and he's doing it on the thumbsticks. And now there's nobody between Stevie and McQueen. Although Stevie is trying to change that because he's got a whole grouping of back markers. Let's go up to our race leader. And this is exactly what I'm talking about. I mean, you're going to start encountering mid-pack, which mid-pack doesn't want to lose any ground on their competitors, so they're not giving up. It's just everybody is a hindrance. Everybody is a nuisance, even if you are the lead driver. Oh, and a lot of contact there is Stevie kind of just doing his best, like, club maneuvering, like you're in the club and you're just kind of grabbing people. You're like, excuse me, pardon me, coming through. That's Stevie right now. And now McQueen falls back once again. 2 back markers between he and the race leader at this point. Ah, beauty, he lost the spoiler. The spoilers are falling off. This is a brutal race for sure. And Grimm. Was it Grimm who admitted he was the... No, actually it was Stevie, right? Who said that he was picking this race, and he's leading it. How remarkable that it is how this happens. Joe Beardy was the one who selected the Brickyard Oval and won that race on the racing wheel, which makes sense. That having a racing wheel there makes all the sense. Floofy in fifth, Cratrum in fourth, Joe Beardy in third. Back to McQueen. Steve seemed happy that he picked this well, and he's got good reason to be happy for now. Still, a lot of racing to go. You got a couple of minutes here to post your prediction using the executables. Now, the banner has probably gone off the chat at this point. If you wish to wager some of your executables, either for or against Floofy, just click the EXE icon that's at the bottom of your chat. It should have a little number next to it that indicates how many executables you have, and you can wager those. And again, the executables here do mean something. I've got options for you to use those in some kind of fun, nonsensical ways, but the channel points are what I use to conduct our viewer raffles anytime that we're giving away prizes here on Xventure, and those happen fairly frequently considering the size of this channel. So if you want to be in the running for those, you can wager, try to win some, and then know that whenever we have those giveaways, 1,000 channel points is what you need to enter, and you can enter multiple times. So keep watching the channel, and you'll naturally incur executables that way, or chance a wager to see if you can win some. Somebody's going to get a good amount. We've got a good wager going on right now in the final seconds here of this one. And there's McQueen. You see Stevie up there on the horizon as I run through the field. Stevie in first, McQueen in second. Joe Beardy is in third. Well done by Joe. Floofy in fourth. Cratrum in fifth. Fear the Fun in sixth. Audrex in seventh. Slipstream in eighth. Jacob T in ninth. Kuda is in 10th. Barf Monkey in 11th. Barney in 12th. Chaos Fox, Foontang, Slow Motion Fire, AP1 Raccoon, Modern Weapon, Fox Jason D, Savage Reaper, Slim Jim, and Grimm are 12th through 21st. And yes, it is I, Dustin Moore, back with you here on a Tuesday. My favorite, apart from Friday, my favorite day of the work week. And we'll be back here for the next 2 Tuesdays to wrap things up here in Season 38. And then we'll be back in about a month or so for Season 39. And in that period in between Season 38 and Season 39, I will have content here on Tuesdays. So make no mistake, the broadcasts don't end just because the season does. And I'll have information on what will be those off-season broadcasts here on Week 5. February the 9th. For those of you who have enjoyed the Friday broadcast, which are the Find It, Fix It, Flip It broadcast, featuring Car Mechanic Simulator 2018, know that I will have my fourth and final broadcast of Find It, Fix It, Flip It Fridays here this Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern, as McQueen continues to work his way through more of the back markers. Yeah, it'll be the final Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 broadcast on the Friday for now. Don't worry, Car Mechanic Simulator will continue on in some form in the future, but at least for the month of January, that game ends, and then we'll pick up another one, which happens to be Dirt 2.0 for February's Friday broadcast. 6 p.m. Eastern, right here on Xventure. You could see maybe either the fatigue or frustration starting to set in with a few of these drivers. They just go barging into the concrete barriers. And we've got the loading screen, which maybe an indication that some of that frustration has led to drivers either dropping out or maybe some disconnects. And oh my, Joe Beardy getting tangled up there with, was that Savage Reaper? Going ahead and putting him head first into the barrier. It's going to get, I mean, it's already physical. It's just going to get downright rude here toward the very end, the bitter end. Let's go back to McQueen. I know I keep returning to McQueen, but we're looking to see here if McQueen is going to be able to catch up and challenge Stevie Super Stacks. Stevie Super Stack. I keep saying stacks plural. It's just one stack. Our race leader at this point. Stevie qualified good enough for row number 2 with Cratrium, but has now jumped up 3 spots to the lead role. And now here comes McQueen closing in. Let's go ahead and ride on board and see what this chaos looks like from McQueen's vantage point. Nothing like a little bumper-to-bumper traffic here. Forza Motorsport 7, the Forza Spec Racing Series, out at Long Beach, and we are a little bit more than halfway through this 70-lap race on the west route, the short circuit here at Long Beach. And oh my, look at look at McQueen. I mean, he's not trying to hide it at this point. I mean, it's just, pardon me, excuse me, get out the way. For this battle for first, which Stevie has done a remarkable job staying out in front and keeping away from McQueen. I mean, I think the closest we've seen them is about a car and a half, 2 car lengths apart, but that was very short-lived. Oh my! And the amount of air that Kuda just got there. Holy smokes. Popped a wheelie. I don't think I've seen anybody do that here in this race yet. And by the way, not too far behind McQueen is Floofy, who, again, you guys are almost evenly split here, 59% to 41%. Those of you who cast a Twitch prediction saying that Floofy was, 59% of you said that Floofy is going to win this race. He's not winning it right now. He's in third. However, there's still quite a bit of many laps to go, and if anybody can possibly make something of this here, it's going to be Floofy. But now here comes McQueen as he has found the back bumper of Stevie. It's happening. Wave your hands in the air. It's happening. We've got something going on here. Nobody's car is unscathed. If you're unscathed, you're not racing. You're not racing in this one if you don't have any bumps, any bruises. I'm actually quite surprised McQueen still has a headlamp beaming there on the right-hand side. Oh, my. All right, let's see here. The battle for first. My, oh my. What a race. And now with a little bit less than 20 laps remaining, can Stevie do what seems to be completely impractical? Like, to think that you could play defense while at the same time having to be so much on the offense, the offensive, seems to be impossible. Improbable. And McQueen trying to spoil it here for Stevie, and if McQueen wins this one, he picks himself up another 100-point week after the victory at Laguna Seca. Stevie, who I talked to before this race and said, hey, I would be happy just to be in the top 5, when I asked him, do you want to maybe seek a little bit of revenge and get 3rd or 4th back from Drex and Kratrum, who were able to take it from you and then run off with it. And he said, yeah, I mean, but just give me the top 5. Well, now here he goes to 2nd position. And he makes contact with McQueen. McQueen with quite a recovery there, too. I thought maybe he was going to go head first in the tire wall and then have to reverse and all that fun stuff. But actually, he just goes ahead and what looks to be looks like he threw the e-brake on and just kind of rotated the car into the right direction. Stevie doing the right thing by allowing McQueen to recover. He did not take advantage of McQueen sliding out there. He waited a little bit. And there's the contact. Smooth recovery, like a Formula drifter there, sliding the back end of the 360. And you can just hear the noises too. The bumps and the bangs, the boops and the bumps out there. It's a never-ending sound of carnage. And oh wow, look at that move. A bold one. And we do have somebody up in the fountain that's going to be who is that? That's Barf Monkey. Can he get off of the? He kind of does. He's turned around now. Actually, no. This is Barf Monkey. I'm not too sure who that was that got hung up on the fountain. And now McQueen. He's going to try to do what he can to get by. Now Stevie moves back up into the top spot, getting around McQueen here, because McQueen was in a huge traffic jam. Big one. And now Stevie back up in the Acme Ferrari Challenge Stradale. This is unusual, folks. I mean, no, the race, as we're seeing it here, was fully expected. It's this kind of racing action that we don't normally get in the Forza Spec Racing Series. So for any of you who might be intimidated or turned off by the craziness of this race, know that this is an exception to the rule. This is the outlier as opposed to the standard. And so 1 and 2, McQueen, Stevie. And now they'll cross the line for the beginning of lap number 60. Actually, that's the beginning of lap 59, pardon me. Oh, actually, no. There it goes. Lap 60. I just had the start-finish line a little bit further back than I thought. McQueen going to go ahead and put the front of that 360 nose right there on the bumper of Stevie. Saddle Up Sunday coming up here is Sunday. It's in the name. It's in the name. Finishing up the epilogue. Yes, I will conclude the epilogue this coming Sunday, 8 a.m. Eastern Time, right here on X Venture. And then I will start some of the Stranger missions over the course of the next 2.5 Sundays, because after the epilogue this Sunday, then I'll start the Stranger missions, and then I'll have 2 more broadcasts of Stranger Missions. And then it's LA Noire on February the 21st. So come see the conclusion of Saddle Up Sundays over the next 3 Sundays, 8 a.m. Eastern Time. And, of course, you can catch them on demand here on Twitch or over on YouTube. Go to the videos section in the past broadcast on Twitch or just on over to YouTube, where they are readily available for your viewing pleasure. Somebody needs to sweep those spoilers off the track after the fact. Hey, the cars are doing pretty good at that themselves. And look at this. We've got pretty much the entire field on one end of the track. It's a lopsided field, and that's only going to be more trouble here for our drivers, knowing that it's about to become super congested. I mean, look at you got the P1 blip there on the track map in the bottom left. You see Funtang getting turned around. He's just going for a ride. I mean, that's not his doing. He just is getting bumped, and it's not the other drivers doing either. They just, you're going, and oh, there's a car. Well, I can't do anything, so let me just plow on through. It's the name of the game right now. That's really all there is to it. This is cool as a viewer. Racers may not find it so cool. Yeah, I'm sure they're a little perturbed right now. It's a lot of action. It's actually a lot more action than I can really call, but it is kind of cool to have these somewhat different style of racing. Like this takes a different kind of technique and skill, because a lot of the skill that you have to hone in this one is the recovery ability and the navigating. Like I said, you're not really racing others so much as you are just navigating around them. I mean, really the closest racing it looks like we have out here is for first and second, but even then, the racing is contingent on navigating the traffic. It's not so much that McQueen or Stevie are doing better than the other. It's just who happens to have the better run lap after lap as it relates to where the traffic is. And now here we go, lap 68, 3 laps remaining in this 70-lap race. We've got, who's that? Chaos Fox up there on the fountain this time, and it looks like may just be parked up there. And now here they come toward the start-finish line, lap 69. Corona Vera, Neum, kind of. It's a different type of Neum here. This is the new Crash Bang Boom Neum. McQueen now into first, coming up to the start-finish line. The white flag drops, and even the flag man's probably like, yeah, I'm just going to throw this flag out here. You guys do with it what you will. And oh, that's actually Savage Reaper up there on the fountain in the shrubbery. And now, with 2 turns remaining, RZ and McQueen looking to go back-to-back here in week number 3. Can he hold off Stevie Superstack as they go into the right-hander? He's got a little bit of traffic out in front of him. It's Kuda, and across the line they go. RZ and McQueen, Stevie Superstack. Oh, and get ready for this carnage. Floofy in third. And Joe Beardy in fourth. Fear the Fun in fifth. Craterum in sixth. Audrex in 7th, Slipstream in 8th, Barf Monkey in 9th, Kuda in 10th, Jacob T in 11th, Slow Motion Fire in 12th, Barney in 13th. I guess, I don't know, these drivers, there's going to be a little bit of an integrity check here for them to stay in the spot that they finished. I'm going to do my best, and I know Slow Motion Fire is going to do the same. I'm going to do my best to go ahead and sort this out. We'll run through the final finishing order here at the conclusion of this one, and then we'll I guess maybe talk to some of our drivers if they're not so pissed that they're just going to throw their headsets off and walk away. You're watching X Venture here live on Twitch TV. It is the conclusion of week number 3 in the Forza Spec Racing Series Season 38. We'll be right back. My, oh my, we made it, folks. After 70 laps around the Long Beach West Circuit, week number 3 has come to a close, and it's going to be RZ and McQueen who walks away, and walk away might be an understatement, comes out of week number 3 with 2 50-point races, picking up the victory both out there at Laguna Seca and here out at Long Beach. That's going to set them up nicely with 200 points entering week number 4, which, as you see there, on February the 2nd, 1 week from tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern time is when that one gets started. Suzuka full for 13 laps, followed by the Nürburgring Nordschleife. So the craziness does not subside one single bit as we roll into that one. Joe Beardy, welcome to the driver's spotlight, and well done finishing 4th out there at Long Beach. Were you, sir, on the wheel?
Indeed, I was on the wheel all night.
I know you said you race exclusively on the wheel. I thought for sure maybe this is one of those races where you're like, nope, give me the dang controller. Do you feel like you're a muscle man at this point? I mean, your arms have got to be exhausted.
I'm definitely sweating, I can tell you that. I should have put a little more Old Spice on before we started the evening.
There you go. Old Spice. There's your next sponsor for season 39. Joe Beardy, I mean, there was obviously so much going on in that race, too much for us to possibly spectate here on the broadcast. And what was the furthest back that you fell to, and then was 4th the furthest forward that you made it?
Furthest back I was actually 6th, which was my qualifying position. I made a pass on Audrex at the start to 5th, and then I don't know, I just kind of kept it clean, made a clean move on CT at one point, and then I got around Floofy, and I just kind of held 3rd. It really came down to like how well you could navigate traffic. And when you'd catch lap drivers, if you could, put that lap car in between you and the position behind you, it was able to kind of give you a little bit of breathing room and just how clean you could navigate through. But then once Floofy started to make his positions back through, he got around me, and then I just kind of was able to hold on for 4th and never saw fear catching me for 5th. So that was a positive, because you always got to worry when he gives you the bumper when he gets behind you. So
we won't tell Fear the Fun. No, he'll hear that. And I'm sure he'll give us both heck for it. Slow Motion Fire in the pit lane, the Twitch chat, saying that was an absolute blast. Love a good short track mess. Now I'll give Slow Motion Fire the benefit of saying that he didn't select this track, but do you agree with him that this was an absolute blast?
Oh, it was awesome. I had a great time with it personally. I mean, some guys were, I don't want to say complaining, but we're like, oh man, this one's going to be interesting before we start, or like, who picked it? And, everyone was giving Stevie Superstack a little bit of crap for picking it, but I think it's great. It mixes it up. It definitely, it evens the playing field. It's kind of like a good rain race. It's like all the odds come out, and it just kind of comes down to, who can keep the car, on track, even though, we're driving between retaining walls in this case, but it makes it definitely interesting, to say the least.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, and speaking of ring race, we then head out to the Nürburgring Nordschleife. That's followed by, or excuse me, that's after the Suzuka race takes place. So we'll have a bit of a normal race for the first one of week 4, and then it's going to be kind of another iffy one. How do you feel on the wheel for those two? I mean, there's so many bumps and undulation out there in the Nordschleife that you'll again be fighting the wheel, I'm sure, quite a bit throughout that one. Is there anything that you do differently to prepare for week number 4, or is everything pretty much status quo?
I'll make a little bit of car adjustment changes for Suzuka, probably just get the gearing right, just so you can have a couple good shift points. I actually was the one who picked the Nordschleife. That's honestly one of my all-time favorites and a dream track of mine to be able to spin some laps around at some point in my life. But I'm looking forward to them both. I think Suzuka's a great track. I think it's an equalizer just due to its high speed and also just its flow that it carries. And then Nordschleife, I think it's whoever can drive a sketchy back road the best might have the best potential possibility at taking that one, and who can keep it on the track and not wreck their car, on a 12-minute lap time track, or a 12-mile track, I mean.
Yeah. Well, whew. I'm excited about it. I'm excited to see how you perform out there on the wheel, because I think that's another track where a wheel maybe makes the driving a little bit more familiar, because it is such a lengthy circuit, and there's not the repetition that maybe folks on a joystick are used to, and churning laps at at some of more of those hot lap accepting tracks. So maybe the wheel gives you a bit of an advantage there. Over in Discord, before today's broadcast and before today's racing, you said, I don't know why my name is highlighted on the standings, the Season 38 standings heading into this one. And as we look at the standings, it's because you got the footnote there that says you ended RZM McQueen's 8-win race win streak. He's got 2 race wins now under his belt here in week number 4. But you did make it into the top 5 because of your performance there in week number 2. Top 5, is this a doable for season 38 for you at the end?
I think so. I mean, it's honestly one of the few seasons where I've actually put solid results in, every round, to say the least. So with getting a 6th and a 4th tonight, that equals what I did at Daytona and Hockenheim. I went 4-6 there, and then I went, 6-1 last week. So honestly, I'm really looking forward to everything. If, those are my 3 best results, for all 3 weeks, I mean, I don't know. I guess I have a little bit of wiggle room for if I got a drop week, I guess. So I'm looking forward to it. If I can keep it in the top 5 or maybe, knock on the door for a top 3 in the point series, I'll be happy with that. So no complaints. Well
done. Joe Beardy finishing 6th out at Long Beach and then 4th here at Laguna Seca. Or excuse me, flip that. 6th at Laguna Seca, 4th at Long Beach. Joe Beardy, any shout-outs for you tonight?
Oh, I don't know. I guess I have quite a few friends that were actually watching the broadcast to them. Shout out to them for, tuning in and watching. They're always interested every time I'm doing one of these. So they love the broadcast, love the stream. So
very good. Well, Joe, hey, thanks for sharing it with your friends. And for those of you who may be still here watching, thanks for joining us and probably rooting on Joe, even if it was quiet. We didn't hear it in the chat, but thanks for tuning in. And Joe Beardy, we'll see you next week.
Awesome. Thanks, Dustin.
All right, let's go ahead and bring in Kuda 93. And gosh, let me see. Let me look through. It looks like 10th position out here at Long Beach. Is that correct?
Yeah, both races.
I don't know. I could say crazy, but what would you describe that race being like?
It was a little bit crazy. I really messed up qualifying. I ended up starting in 19th. So fighting up through all of that to get up to 10th was an experience.
Fighting through might be an understatement, not an exaggeration. No, you're definitely fighting through. What about with the lead lap traffic? I think maybe lead lap cars were out in front of, or the lead 2 cars, McQueen and Stevie, were out in front of everybody by at least a lap. Was there ever a point where you saw those 2 in your rearview mirror and went, oh my gosh, and did it lead to trouble or no?
A couple of times saw them.
Yeah.
I think I was 2 or 3 down by the end of the race.
Okay.
But really, at a certain point, you couldn't tell what car was on what lap, so you just raced everybody as hard as you could. You just kind of lose track of who's where.
Slow Motion Fire, who organizes things here at the Forza Spec Racing Series, he always loves mixing it up every once in a while with a short track, quote-unquote, mess. He called it that. Are you ready to kind of let the Ferrari's legs take longer strides next week, Suzuka and the Nürburgring?
I prefer the short tracks. Things like Rio and this are always the most fun for me because I can get into a rhythm a little bit better. I have a pretty short attention span to these long tracks I struggle with a little bit.
Finishing, or at least entering week number 3, just outside of the top 10, you had 64 points. That actually is tied for Slow Motion Fire, who I'm showing in 10th on the standings. I'd have to see what the tiebreaker is on that. But at least by my record, it looks like you've got him beat here in week number 3. So top 10, it seems like, is within very much a viable finishing position for you here in season 38.
Yeah, that was my goal last season. So I told myself maybe top 8 for points this season just to try and improve a little bit. So already doing better than I was last time.
And Ellis Barney kind of just, at least silently to me, because unfortunately we haven't been able to put the camera on him a lot. Same with you there, Kuda. He's sitting there with 74 points just out in front of Slow Motion Fire and behind SGR Chaos Fox. SGR Chaos Fox not having a great showing here in week 3. So, yeah, you definitely have the opportunity to move up. So we'll see if that's able to, if you're able to make that happen. I know we don't have any more short tracks left in the schedule for you, so you're going to have to do it with the long ones.
Yeah, we'll see how it goes. I don't have much seat time at either one of the next 2 tracks, so we'll just have to practice a lot this week. But this season's been really nice because a lot of different drivers are toward the front. Everybody's improving so much that there's kind of some new people in the top 5 and 10s teams, which has been a nice little change.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, and we'll see. I think we're gonna see some big changes on the standings, at least from about 5th onward, heading into week number 4. So when Slow Motion Fire gets those all calculated up, we'll have those over on the XVenture Twitter account, and then of course we'll walk through those before week number 4 gets going. Cuda93, you want to throw any shout outs out there?
No, I mean, I've got a few friends watching. I share the stream out every time we race and share it in a few Discord channels. So if any of them are watching, hey. Otherwise, no, just keep up the good work. We enjoy the streams. I always watch it back the next day while I'm working. So
very cool. Awesome. Yeah. Nice little entertainment to get you through the workday. Cuda93, thank you so much. We'll see you next week.
Yeah, see ya.
And yeah, I mean, I extend my thanks, and I know I don't necessarily say it every broadcast, although I do thank the subscribers and the follows and the viewership overall. But yes, to the drivers who are out there actively promoting the broadcast and telling their friends and trying to get more folks in here. It gives them a chance to have kind of a rooting section here, a virtual grandstand for them, with folks cheering them on, either actively or maybe silently lurking there in the pit lane, our Twitch chat. Yeah, there really would be no reason for the broadcast if there weren't people watching. So for all the drivers who do already share this out and get family, friends, and maybe even some of their foes to come in here and see what's going on in the Forza Spec Racing Series, that's always very much appreciated. And for the viewers as well, if you too know some people who would be interested in watching the content here on the channel, by all means, let them know. Share the link, tell them about it. Maybe throw a recording their way to give them a chance to have a look at it and see if they can't join us live here on Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Eastern time for the Forza Spec Racing Series. And who knows, maybe they'll be so interested and so excited about it that they too will participate at some point. If you are interested, know that there's always room for you. Almost always. I mean, every once in a while there's a full grid, but get on the reserves list. And if you participate enough and you're filling that void on the grid each and every week, or as often as you can, then what you'll probably have is yourself a guaranteed spot moving into forthcoming seasons. So as things continue to be crowded in the Forza Spec Racing Series, despite the fact that Forza Motorsport 7 now is going on 4 years of age. And Forza Motorsport, we don't have a release date for the new unnumbered iteration of Forza. Without a release date on that, we don't know how long we're going to be going here in Forza Motorsport 7. So just continue to participate, be engaged, have yourself a good time out here. That's the most important thing, because they do call themselves, quote-unquote, a beer league. There's no real expectation that you have to perform to some level. It's only that you race cleanly. That is the only stipulation for your involvement here, is put your car together, get the tuning the way that you like, or maybe just leave the car as is with the upgrades on. That's okay. Put the assist to the required assist, and there are some that you can set for yourself depending on your preference and how you like to drive, and then come out here and have some fun. It's always a great time. Reddit.com/r/FM4, and if not on the track, well, then we hope to see you at least here in the Twitch chat, our broadcast on Tuesdays. All right, folks. Well, I promised that I would have some information on something that I've been teasing for a little bit. Winter, it's just getting started, all that fun. So if you're interested in what it's about, let's go ahead and have a look here. And I've got to find the right screen. Here we go. This is a first for the XVenture channel, and I leave it entirely in y'all's hands to decide how much of this content you want, because the more you support the channel, the more content there is. March 6th, XVenture's first ever sub-marathon. Roll the beautiful bean footage.
Welcome to the new world. Now everything's changed. No limitations. Yeah, I leveled up my game. More power, Every second, every minute, every hour. More power, more power. So get ready for it right now. Unstoppable, nothing's impossible. We on top of the world, top of the world. We going harder, we getting stronger, better than ever. I feel the power. Let's go.
It's a brand new day.
Let's go.
And we came to play.
Let's go.
When you hear that sound,
Let's go.
it's going down.
Let's go.
We standing tall,
Let's go.
and I want it all.
More power, unstoppable, nothing's impossible. We on top of the world, top of the world. We going harder, we getting stronger, better than ever. I feel the power, more power, more power.
There's no stopping us.
We going harder, we getting stronger, better than ever, better than ever. I feel the power. Let's go, let's go.
Really looking forward to that one. It's SnowRunner, and yeah, it's an X-Venture sub marathon on Saturday, March 6th. And the way that it works, if you saw there on the previous screen, is that for every subscription to the X-Venture Twitch channel in the month of February, so we've got a week before that period opens. Every subscription in the month of February will result in 30 minutes of gameplay of SnowRunner. And things right now, if they average out about where we are normally for a week, for a month's worth of subscriptions, we'd be looking at somewhere around 6 hours of SnowRunner. If you wish to contribute and ensure that I play more, then supporting the broadcast is the way to do that, either with a Prime Gaming subscription, or you can also do it through a paid subscription as well. Either way, it counts toward the total tally of time. Every subscription, 30 minutes, up to, yes, 24 hours. It could be a 24-hour broadcast. The last time I did a 24-hour broadcast was about a year ago for the Daytona 24, the Online Racing Association Torres 24-hour event. And so I put it in y'all's hands if you're interested in seeing me play SnowRunner. And actually, let me throw this out there as well. This would be the first time that I've ever played a MudRunner/SnowRunner game. So this would be entirely new to me, which could result in quite a bit of comedy, shenanigans, and just downright tomfoolery. So there you go. There's the call. And again, that all starts on February the 1st here during the Forza Spec Racing Series broadcast. I will have a nice little bar over the ticker at the top of the screen to show you where we are on progress. But again, if things average out the way that they normally do in a regular month, we'd be looking at somewhere around 6 hours. Of course, some subs could come off, and that time would then reduce, or we could add subs up again to the tune of 24 hours worth of content. That would be 48 subscriptions. That would be in itself a first for the X-Venture channel. But hey, if people are interested enough, it's possible. So there you go. If you haven't yet decided whether or not X-Venture provides the value for you to subscribe and support the broadcast, I completely understand and know that we've got plenty of broadcasts coming in the month of February for you to make that decision, from the Tuesdays Forza Spec Racing Series to Fridays Dirt Rally 2.0 content to what will be the conclusion of Red Dead Redemption 2 leading into LA Noire. There's going to be, what is that, 9 or 12 streams for you to make a decision, and it'll be fun. It's going to be fun. I look forward to it. I mean, the game looks fantastic. I've seen others play it on Twitch. It looks like a whole heck of a lot of fun, especially SnowRunner with the content that they have added. And yes, I do have the additional content. So there's going to be plenty of things to do in the world there. It looks really, really fun. You go out, you explore things, you find things, you dig it up. You got all of this while trying to navigate the crazy terrain that's in that game. So there you go. That's what the winter's just getting started represents. And then March 6th, that's when the event will be taking place. Okay, so there's that. And then just as a reminder that we've got the Find It, Fix It, Flip It Friday coming up here on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be the final Car Mechanic Simulator broadcast, or Car Mechanic Simulator 2018 broadcast of the month of January, and then we go into Dirt Rally 2.0 for Fridays in February. We'll probably see Car Mechanics Simulator at some point on the broadcast again. It's just the end of them on Fridays. So come join me for that one. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to tune up the Mach 1 to see if we can't get more horsepower out of it. I think I was striving for like at least 500 horsepower, so we'll see if we can't get the Mach 1 to be a little more oomphed. I don't know if that's not a thing, but I just said it anyway. And then we've got barns and junkyards to go visit to see what other cars we could find, upgrade. Oh, yeah, and by the way, I stupidly bought a Ford F-350 for like $160,000. I don't know what I'm going to do with that thing. But come watch the fun on Friday, 6 p.m. Eastern. Find it, fix it, flip it Friday, the final one of 2020. And then, as was mentioned during the broadcast, we've got Saddle Up Sundays concluding the epilogue of Red Dead Redemption 2, which I will be the conclusion of that epilogue, I believe, is going to happen this Sunday, and then what will be spent, what I'll be spending time doing over the next 2.5 Sundays, will be just doing stranger missions that are off the beaten path. So just kind of a cool way to wind down Red Dead Redemption 2. With hopes, I say this every broadcast, that Rockstar's got plans to roll out a remastered version of the original Red Dead so that at some point I could pick up that storyline. Because, at least in the near future, it is L.A. Noire that I'll be transitioning to, Crime Scene Sundays, beginning February 21st. Is that it? Is that all the things that I have to say? All the stuff that I have to promote here tonight? I think it is. Be back 1 week from today. Suzuka, the Nürburgring Nordschleife in the 360 Stradale. RZ and McQueen will be at the top of the leaderboard with 200 points. Can anybody stop him? If they're going to, they need to do it in week number 4. And there's no better track to make that happen than out the Nürburgring Nordschleife. They'll want to do it out at the out at Suzuka as well, though. You want to try to take him out on both races. Not take him out physically, but keep him from winning any one of those races, because the more he does that in week number 4, that's only going to solidify his championship and what would be a back-to-back championship for season 37, season 38, and then McQueen would have the decision rights for what the vehicle is in season 39. Can Floofy, can Stevie Superstack, maybe Audrex, Cratrium, Joe Beardy, can any of those drivers knock him down a peg in race number 7 or 8? You'll just have to see. And then, of course, the finale 2 weeks out from tonight out at Virginia International Raceway. Oh, I actually have one more thing to share with y'all, just because I want to make sure that we don't overlook this. For those of you who are subscribed, we've got like I said, 11 or 12 subscribers at this point. So there's a good chunk of you out there who are subscribed. Name a corner out at VIR. Make it fun. Make it funny, whatever it is, whatever approach you want to take, as long as it's clean. That's the only thing I ask. If you're a subscriber, click on that link that Nightbot just provided. It's going to take you to a Google form. Don't worry, I'm not asking for any personal info. All I'm asking is, what is your Twitch name so that I can verify that you're a subscriber? Tell me what corner of the track you want to name. Give me the name, and then we'll make it happen 2 weeks from tonight out of the finale. It's going to be fun. I mean, this is a great way, it's a great opportunity for those of you who are subscribers and those of you who are thinking about it to kind of have a little bit of input on the broadcast. There's not going to be anything funnier than me calling out a corner name that either one makes absolutely no sense, or is hysterical, or is scary, or maybe it's just a normal name. Maybe you just want to give me a normal name. I'm cool with that too. There's no better way for me to engage with the subscribers during the race than for you all to give me something to say. And yes, every corner that is named will be rattled off at least once. So you don't have to worry about naming a corner and then it goes unmentioned. It'll happen. And we'll have a graphic before the race gets going showing all of those who did participate. So if you're a subscriber, and there are those of you who are out there who haven't done it yet, click on the link. Name a corner. Let's have some fun with this thing here in about 2 weeks' time out at VIR. Okay, that is the end. That's the end of everything I have to promote, to talk about, and now we go into the midweek, into Wednesday. midpoint of the week. I hope you all have a good one. More important than ever, stay happy, stay healthy, take care of yourselves, wear your masks, stay socially distanced. I know, I don't have to preach y'all. I'm not your parent, but just let's all look out for one another, and hopefully here sooner rather than later, we'll get ourselves to a safe place where we can be a little bit more socially, not distant, but socially near one another. That would be fun, right? Everybody who followed today, those of you who did follow, and the subscription from SGR Chaos Fox, so thank you so much. Actually, Mesosphere, who rated earlier during the rerun broadcast. Thank you, Mesa, for that. Flipper Fire 6829, who followed when the broadcast was off the air, and then Jay Wimset 27 and Avon Delay. Thank you for your follows today. Y'all take care. Have a great one. Until Friday. For Find It, Fix It, Flip It Friday at 6 p.m. Have a good one. Adios. Goodbye.